Madeline, thanks for agreeing to talk to me. Can you let me know why you put your hand up to join this guidance group for Mullumbimby?
I've lived in this area for 37 years, and ever since I arrived, I've been a very active member of the community, working with a huge cross-section of the community. I have a strong sense of place, and for me, that sense of community is critical. You know, it's what makes me stay here. It's what keeps me here. It enriches my life. So we're taking all the elements that are essential for basically establishing the infrastructure and basic foundation of a community, and working from those and feeding first through the guidance group, then we take it out to the community for their feedback and interaction.
So how do you think it's gone so far? Like you've had your traffic meeting. Did you think that was a positive experience, or was it?
It was, you know, some parts of it were interesting because I learned things, I thought about things that I hadn't, like roundabouts and the fact that roundabouts are horrible for pedestrians. They're not friendly for pedestrians. And when we've gone to the community, they've been really keen on, you know, let's put more roundabouts. But so they're not practical. And
Right.
plus you have to widen streets in order for trucks to go around them. So they're not practical for this little tiny town of 2 blocks long and 2 blocks wide. There were some good things, but there were also, I think what was really established was that Mullumbimby has very quickly become a car-centric town. When we really, what made me want to stay here and what I loved about it was people-centric. So that's what, and a lot of the group, the guidance group, feel that same way. They want it to be more focused on people. They want it to be people-friendly. I feel personally that aesthetics are a really important part of our world and our lives, and that when we're surrounded by things that are lovely to look at and make us feel good, we're happier people, and we have a greater, stronger commitment to our community. So I think there's room for lots of different designs, but I think blending them together so that we honor the community and support different people's ideas and allow for new change, you know, that's inevitable, but still honor the traditional values that grew out of this community, which is what attracted us here in the first place. Well, I think if you're not involved in it, then it's really difficult after the fact to go, oh, I don't like that. I think you have to be involved. And I think, you know, sometimes for some people, even for myself, the process is slow because it's attached to a bureaucracy. But it's giving us a platform for discussion with different people from the community. So, and it allows us then to take that and go out and talk to other people in the community. So I think it has value, absolutely.
Why did you decide to join the Mullumbimby guidance group?
Well, I'm a resident. I was involved in the Byron Bay Town Centre Master Plan Group and thought that some of that knowledge gained could be transferred here, but I'm also a resident. And I also have a long-term family history with the town, which and it's very interesting. When I first started riding bikes on holidays into town from Byron Bay, it always felt comfortable. It always felt like a second skin. So when we had the chance to buy land up here, we did, built the house, sold that house, moved into town, and here we are.
There you go. And you've had one meeting so far with the guidance group. How did you find that?
Oh, I think it's going to be challenging because there's, like all of my master planning efforts, and I've been involved in 25 over my career.
Wow.
There are always issues of contention. There are always differences of opinion, and the challenge for the group is to mediate between those different positions, because being Byron Shire, they're very fixed and firmly held positions, so it's a challenge.
It's challenging. And today you've got, is it built environment and heritage is the topic
Yes.
of the workshop, and that's something close to your heart?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm an architect of 45 odd years experience, and as I said, been involved in these sorts of things, and residential design and master planning, and the built form of the town is critical, I believe, to its future. And some will believe it's open slather, there's no such thing as heritage, we shouldn't take notice of it, but when you do research into what people feel about their towns and buildings, more often than not, they come down on the fact of the character of the heritage of the town, and also the a bit hard to explain, but the character of the houses. And if you think about how a kid draws a house, it's two windows either side of a front door, pitched roof with chimney and smoke coming out of it. And a lot of the architecture done in new towns and new subdivisions is the antithesis of that character. Yet people still come back to that character. So they're the mediations that we need to find answers to.
And do you have any sort of personal values around how you feel the look and feel of the town should remain into the future?
Absolutely. Well, we built a new house in Daly Street, which is at the really heritage end of the town, and I quite deliberately picked up the character of the residences on either side, as opposed to our neighbour on the opposite side of the street, who built their house 5 or 6 years ago, and it just doesn't fit in the street.
Yeah.
So yes, very dear to my heart in keeping that character. However, at the lane side of the house, we did a studio apartment over the garage. So that was, and I think that could be challenged by some people, which is good, but we've also contributed to the stock of affordable housing. And that's again one of my deep passions, and has been for 20 years, and I call it now equitable housing, which is fair housing for all.
Absolutely, it's a big issue here in the Shire for
Huge
sure.
issue.
One last question I was going to ask, like obviously if you're committing so much time to this guidance group, you see a lot of value in participating in this process?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm retired or semi-retired. I've got the time to do it. I've got a passion about the town. I'd be foolish not to be involved, and also contribute what expertise I have in these sorts of areas.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll catch up with you throughout the process.
Pleasure.